Hey, how you doing? My name is Art. Welcome back to another movie review. I watched a movie that I own that I haven't seen in years. So that way, if you don't want to watch it, you don't have to. I tell you the synopsis of the movie. I tell you what I think about the movie. If you did see it, you'll let me know down below in the comments. Hopefully. Today's this movie I'm going to talk about is Death Race. Back in the early to mid 2000s, Jason Statham was the man. Not so much anymore, but he was like the man. Any movie he was in was actually a pretty decent movie. Now, box office wise, maybe not so, but he was in some. I mean, of course, he was in some clangers, of course. Some movies didn't make a lot of money, but this one, they say it was in the theaters, but I don't remember seeing it in theaters. Anyway, basic premise of this story. If you have not watched this before or you forgot what this is about, this is a remake of Roger Corman's Death Race back in the 60s or something. In the 60s, this guy named Roger Corman made a shit ton of B style movies, and this was one of them, so they remade this one. The guy who directed the Resident Evil movies directed this. Basic premise is main character Jason Statham he used to be a race car driver, lost his license, works a dead end job. Of course, dead end job goes bankrupt. Company goes out of business. He gets his last pay. He's like, well, you can get your payment in check or you can get it in cash. And the thing is, he's like, if I get it in, he was thinking, because if you get the check, check might not be good. So what happened is, if you get in cash, they give you like a small amount of what you made. He said he worked about for that shift, it's like 120 something. So I guess they get paid once a month or something like that. I'm guessing. He only got $300. And so he was like down on his luck, gets home to his wife and his baby, about to do some rekindling and work, not so worried. Guy breaks in, incapacitates him and frames him for killing his wife. So now he's in jail. He goes to jail. The warden of the jail comes to him. Well, before I tell you that, he meets. They show the blacks, the whites, the Aryan race, this guy, this, and the Asians, and they like a lot of prison movies. These are all the factions. They play a part. Warden comes up to him and says, "Hey, this race car driver died. We want you to take his place. It's called Frankenstein. He's disfigured. No one knows what he looks like because he wears a mask." Now, which means that in reality, in this movie, he probably had to be in solitary, because if no one knows what he looks like underneath the mask and he's disfigured, he had to be in solitary. So she wants him to take his place because he's a good race car driver. Now, why would you want a race? Now, all of a sudden, a person who kills his wife who used to be a race car driver, you need him to race a car. Yeah. Plot somewhat okay. The plot somewhat slightly takes a small turn. Now, what does that mean? Well, that means here's the plot. Prisons are privately owned by corporations. So to make money, they have fights, like gladiator games. So basically think of the UFC in prison. And they sell it for pay-per-view. So like the infamous bum fights that you used to be able to, buy the videos for, That's the kind of stuff. So they decided to do race car drive, racing. So all of a sudden, all these southern people, if they know how to race and they're in jail, they can win 5 races and then they can go free. Now, is this like an Indy 500 or Daytona or something like that? But imagine that with Mad Max mixed involved. And you got stuff like this. So he takes the identity of Frank, starts racing. Didn't go too well. What happened is that there's the driver and there's a co-pilot who helps navigate and stuff like that. Usually they're women, but one guy, he's gay, so they have a guy go with him. So don't ask. And of course, this is from the women's prison that you don't know about. So of course, female prisoner who rode with Frank. Some things just don't work, and no one knows why, and something seems odd. Now the thing is, this guy is kind of smart. The main character is kind of smart. This does work. This doesn't work. She wants me to take care of this guy. All he has to do is also basically all he has to win one race, and then I can go free. Okay. He gets totaled the first race. He gets totaled. Second race, they do all this stuff. He finds out the guy who killed his wife, frames him, starts trying to kick his ass and his boy's ass, and they get stopped by the prison guards. So he says, I'm gonna take care of him in the race. Second race comes around, he starts doing stuff. They're driving, and he's like last in line. He's like last place, so I don't know how that pacing goes for racing. And so everybody's driving. He just do Sunday driving Miss Daisy kind of stuff. It's kind of hilarious. Then he basically grills her and says, "What happened to the last? Did you kill the last guy?" She goes, "No." And it comes out that the warden bribed her to sabotage the car so he can't win. The idea is that as long as he's there, she can make tons of freaking money off the good, and the guy would be never, whatever. So, the thing is, you figured out the plot already. In the space of me talking within 5 minutes, you already figured out the plot, especially if you've never seen it before. So she realized that the jig is up, and she decides, okay, we'll work together. Second race goes pretty well. Main character bonds with the other inmates of his pit crew, and they realize that they like, man, this guy's an okay dude. What the hell? What's he doing in here? Finds out the pit crew chief, he's a free man. He just don't want to leave because he just don't want to leave because this is all he knows. So he could do whatever the hell he wants. But anyway, third race comes about. They're racing. There's a big rival, and he hates this guy Frank, and he kind of figures out that Frank is dead, and this is some guy playing Frank. So he's trying to figure this out, what the angle is, and they concoct some. They kind of do friendly rivalry. Third race comes around. Yeah, I'm simplifying this because it's a very simple. It's involves a race. What much can you really do? Warden tries to sweeten the deal to keep him on. You win this race, you win. Okay, that's cool. Your daughter, she'd be better off with somebody else. Now, weird thing about it, she knows she framed the dude. She knows she framed him, but she's trying to guilt him into staying. So she give him his release papers, just in case. This backstabbing woman has a bomb put on his car, so that way, blow him up, get somebody else to be the new Frank. No one will be the wiser. Race starts, they're going at it, and she making it so hard for everybody. He puts them out of, of course, the car this time has some extra modifications. Now, why? Because there's a way for him to get out of here. And his pit crew puts the stuff in. After they realize that this guy, he doesn't really belong here and he should get the fuck out. Race happens. They escape. Both him and his rival escape. They escape, and they escape. Then fast forward, they're in Mexico, living the dream, fixing cars, and that's it for Death Race. Yes, I didn't really tell you too much about it because it was simple. The movie was simple, nothing more than just racing and Mad Max style action violence. Is this a very good movie? Of course this is. I bought the unrated version. Whenever the version is rated or unrated, always buy the unrated version because you want to see the stuff that they don't put in the theaters. Was this a big hit in the theaters? I don't think so, but for a good DVD viewing, it's good. Of course, this is a DVD. If you find this in the stores, don't pay no more, since this is like over 10 some years old. What year was this movie anyway? Actually, what year was this movie anyway? 2008. So this film is 13 years old. So you should be able to find this in a bargain bin. So if it's not on Netflix or any streaming service that you're already paying for, or you get it for free, and you want to watch this, I would suggest you buy it for no more than $10. This should be one of those $5 movies by now. And with that, I recommend. And with that, thank you very much. If you saw this movie before, let me know down below and see it, and tell me what you thought of the movie. Of course, you should always watch the movie yourself to figure out whether you think it's good or not. If you liked this video, give me a thumbs up. Didn't like it, give me a thumbs up. Like, comment, subscribe. Do all the natural YouTube goodness. And with that being said, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for the views. Thank you for the messages. Thank you for yelling at me and making fun of me. Thank you for saying, what a good video. Awesome. And I'll see you in the next one. Would it be a movie? Would it be a song? Or just me randomly talking? I don't know yet. I had a thought and it just lost it. But anyway, talk to you later.